nightmare. And if I had creative control in Disney, I think that would be one of the best things we would ever see, because there would be more people given the benefit of the doubt, and there would be more people worth that time. In my opinion, there are so many people out there that are worth that reconciliation, that drive. They have that opinion, and they raise awareness. And I just wish more of Nickelodeon would do that same thing, because Nickelodeon, in my opinion, just doesn't promote people in that way, in that regard, and it's just unfortunate that they don't do that.
Oh yeah, I hear you where that goes. It definitely and I'm really looking at it here too, because Disney, for me, and a lot of people who saw me pushing Disney a lot, even when I was just simply doing a wrestling show, I think a lot of people really didn't know that I loved the unity that was in Disney at one time. You had it there during that time when in 2007, when you had Sweet Life and Hannah Montana, and Wizards of Waverly Place was getting ready to start. You had That's So Raven had already ended, and they were trying to spin off. They tried doing a spin-off with Cory in the House, which I personally like, but the synapse behind the whole thing was wrong.
Yeah, it was. With so many great decisions companies make, they also make a lot of really bad ones, and that's the unfortunate thing. That's what makes people so sick and tired. And I think more time needs to be devoted to different people who deserve it.
Yeah, I thought with Cory in the House, I thought that, and I was thinking about this, if I got to be in on Disney, I would have said, no, do not have them in the White House. Do not have them imitating a president, the President of the United States. Do not have a fictional president. I said what I would have done was I would have, because I said it was right there on That's So Raven, when you had fictional stars and sometimes real stars going to eat at their restaurant. I said, have them go to Hollywood. Have it almost coincide. You had Sunny with a Chance come, that was there at the time too for 2 seasons. You go with that. Was my answer to it. Go with that, and just run with that one with them. Having them be in Hollywood, have a major restaurant in Hollywood, 5 stars, and have it to where
you have so much creativity, and that's the thing. This is what I was saying here earlier. Fans know what they want to see, but the fans are the ones that are never listened to. And I just hate how fans are never listened to. It makes me sick.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I think fans. It goes back to what we said with wrestling, and I'm going to give some final thoughts there on wrestling, because you know me, when it comes down to wrestling.
Yeah, I know you've been so devoted to that for years, and you always make a point to say that I still have connections with wrestlers out there. I can't thank you enough for making me as famous as what you have. So many people out there have made me into some kind of wrestling icon. There are even people out there who think I am a wrestler, which is not actually the case, so to say, but they believe it.
Yeah, and my point, my point is with some of the things that went on. I mean, there are a lot of people that totally disagree with me still. That, when I talk about Ross Lynch, when I talk about Ross Lynch doing what he does.
Yeah, but the thing about Ross Lynch is there for his fans. Ross Lynch does a lot of these conventions and stuff. So he's there for his fans, and I really appreciate that about Ross Lynch. I wish more people were there for their fans in the way of a Ross Lynch, but they're not.
Yeah, I mean, and I got to hear R5 play the Disney Music Awards, and they still play that to this day. To this day on Disney, they just thought the performance was great between them. I really was not that big on it, but to tell you the truth, I think, it just looks more like Ross Lynch would rather be playing with his family than having the solo career he's having. I don't think Ross Lynch likes the music he does as Austin Moon on Austin and Alley. Yeah, and I think Austin and Alley has really run its course already. If they give it a fourth season, I don't think it's going to do that well. I think more people are now bigger on Allie Dawson, the actress behind Allie Dawson. I got her
Alyssa
name on my
Maruno,
mind.
you're thinking of.
Yeah,
I believe her name is Alyssa Maruno. And Morano,
Yeah.
she's Spanish or something, isn't she? Spanish or Jamaican or something?
Spanish, I believe. I think they're more big on her. But here's the point, and we are going to go into archives with this for a little while too. Is the fact that I think the whole Austin and Alley thing and Ross Lynch was more of an afterthought. I really just I think it was an afterthought because I thought, and there were rumors going around that they were actually going to spin off Mitchell Musso's character from Hannah Montana to really go into his music career and really try and run with Mitchell Musso. There's just too many things that are very similar, with the exception of really the dancing. And I just think they looked at Ross Lynch and figured they had something there in him, to really run with to really do Austin and Alley on. And I just think I think they also did this too because they're looking at R5 and I don't think they want another Jonas Brothers thing too. They're letting R5's music have a little more backbone to it. They're letting it have a little more backbone.
More of a drive, yeah. They don't want to go back to the Jonas Brothers. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see stuff like the Jonas Brothers. I want to see something new. I mean, the Jonas Brothers are what, 2007?
Pretty much. I mean, their popularity. To me, when I found out the Jonas Brothers were going to do a TV show when they did it, I just thought, why? I think that because I personally believe their popularity pretty much ended right after their show failed on Disney.
Yeah, how long did the show go? Two seasons or something? I know that the biggest contributing factor to that show that made it a success was Chelsea Stubbs. And without her, that show pretty much sucked.
Yeah, I can't say what really made it. I can't really say where that goes. But I will say that I think when it came down to it, I think Disney characters were focused on one Jonas brother. I think you had some labels outside focused on another, and I think the other Jonas brother was more focused on real life, and I think you'll eventually see that
Jonas
out of
Brothers
R5.
reached maturity pretty quickly. I think the Jonas Brothers reached maturity at a very early age, and they just didn't want to do it anymore. I think that's what the result of it all was.
And I
reached
agree
maturity
with you on
at a really young age, and they said, "The hell with this! What are we doing with Disney? Why are we doing this kid stuff? Let's go on and do something more mature." And by their album Jonas Brothers in 2007, it took off for them.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I'm not dead set against the Jonas Brothers. I think they are talented. I think they were brought in two at a time. If there was supposed to be competition between Nick and Disney, Disney did that brought the Jonas Brothers in to try to counteract Drake Bell from having a success. It seemed to work out too. Sad that it did too, if that's the case, because Drake Bell, much more talented. I just think the same thing that hurt Drake Bell is part of what hurt the Jonas Brothers. They just kept making Drake Bell into such a submissive kid that we did not see the rock out of him. We did not see the rock and roll come out of it with him. That eventually he needed to be reinvented into.
Disney had such a way with music, and Nickelodeon has such a way with music too. It's just the difference between Nickelodeon and Disney is Disney knows how to distribute us, both acting and music. Nickelodeon doesn't. That's the unfortunate thing.
And that's the big thing. I just think what Disney does better than Nick is, for the most part, Disney embraces the history of what it has, and what it had at one time.
Yep.
I mean, we really don't see any new episodes of or old episodes of Hannah Montana anymore, or even
no, they don't
with
show the
King.
reruns. That's where they need to come out with Disney Retro, and that's where Nickelodeon needs to put out a retro station as well. You put out retro stations of Disney and Nickelodeon where you show your vintage programming from, I'd say, like back in the early 90s right up to at least 2001 or 2004, and you'd have higher ratings on that than you would on your actual networks.
Especially for Disney, because Disney is just... Disney right now, I just think the shows they're putting out are very weak. I just think they are. It's just, I think like I said about Ross Lynch, I just think Austin and Ally and the whole thing of creating Austin Moon was an afterthought. It was kind of Hannah Montana meets Mitchell Musso kind of a thing, where he goes by a fictitious name on the show, and in real life he is a star. I just think eventually you're eventually going to have to get something going where R5 is going to be on that show and really start running with something there. I'm just surprised they have the one sister that is in the group. That is in the group. I'm surprised they're not trying to surround things around her a little more.
What really irritates me with these TV shows, too, are children will put these distinctions on, like, the characters, like Sam and Cat, for instance, and then they'll ask you at an older age, what happened to them? Where did they go?